The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, says the decision to disqualify 17 commissioner-nominees was born out of their constitutional responsibility. This reaction is coming following widespread criticism against the state lawmakers last week. Abimbola Agbebi was at the plenary today.
Recording of official list of nominees for appointment as commissioners and special advisors.
It all started on the 3rd of August when 39 names of commissioner nominees were forwarded to the lawmakers by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for approval. The list was immediately faulted by some of the lawmakers who shared their reservations at the plenary, which had the Speaker pleading for the lawmakers' understanding, asking that the detailed information about the nominees be sent to the House to aid its legislative assignment. A 12-man ad hoc committee headed by the Chief Whip of the House, Fatai Mojid, was set up to begin the screening of the nominees, an exercise that lasted 4 days. At the plenary on Wednesday, the 23rd of August, the report of the ad hoc committee was presented to the House, after which 22 of the 39 names of commissioner nominees forwarded to it for approval were confirmed. 17 others were rejected. Nominees like Akin Abayomi, a former commissioner for health in the state, were among names that were disqualified by the lawmakers. This unprecedented move has got many talking, raising the issue of possible face-off between the two arms of government. The Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, has a response to these insinuations.
We are placing politics ahead of technocrats. What technocrats? What do you mean about technocrat? Who is not technocrat in these hollow chambers? Before them, we have many people. They talk about Dr. Akin Abayomi, a gentleman, who happens to be a colleague also in serving the people. But before him, we have Leke Pito, we have Dr. Idris, we have many of them. Before COVID, which happened to be an isolated case, we have Ebola, which was also taken care of under Fashola. It's not about qualification. It's not about your experience. It's not about exposure. We are the representative of the people, the mouthpiece, the ears, and the sights of the people. So we know what we look for. We talk about Aramide, the commissioner for what? Before him, we did Ikoyi, Victoria Island Link Bridge under Fashola, when the current deputy governor, Amsa, was the commissioner for works. The House, as a body, restrained itself from exposing what we discovered during the screening exercise. So we are not going to be forced to spill.
With recent developments, the fate of the 17 rejected commissioner nominees still hang in the balance. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
Jide Benson, a public affairs commentator, joins us on the news to discuss the crisis on the Lagos State Commissioner nominees list. Good to have you join us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
So this is unprecedented. It is the first time since 1999 where cabinet nominees list will be thrown back at the governor in Lagos State. I want to get your reaction to this and to the comments made by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly.
Well, my comments will be multifold. The first is that the governor is trying to assert himself as his own man, and I think it's early days yet. And don't forget that most of the governors, or maybe the last 3 governors, have always lived under the shadow of the current president. And now that he has another assignment, maybe he has chosen to leave Lagos for a while. And therefore, Governor Sanwo-Olu trying to act as the man in charge. Maybe the House is trying to tell him, Oga or Bros. That's not the way just yet. And I think that on the part of the nominees, they're complete new fights. You might be a technocrat, but when you're going to serve in government, there's something called lobbying. And lobbying happens in different ways. It's not just an account of what you've done in the last 4 years. In the past 4 years, they have all interfaced with different committees in the House of Assembly. And on account of that, they should have built a good rapport such that the kind of slap that they have all gotten, they wouldn't have gotten, because it's embarrassing not just to the governor, but to all of them. There have been different arguments as to why this happened. What the speaker said is one. There's been the part of religion. There's the part of not fielding enough, not featuring enough politicians. But those are debatable things.
But the Speaker has also said, look, they are not going to give reasons why these people have been disqualified, and that anyone who wants to know should approach the State House of Assembly. But how constitutional is that? Shouldn't people know, at least the residents of Lagos know why these people have been disqualified? And then again, you mentioned something about issues around religion and all of that. But people will say, look, when you have done well, you should be given another chance to continue to do that which you have done before.
So I'll start from your second point. That's in an ideal environment. There is what is and there's what ought to be. So you have talked about what ought to be. If you've performed, then all of this should not have been an issue. But we're in an extremely sensitive nation. We're in a perpetually sensitive nation where issues of ethnicity and religion and even gender will always come to the fore. One of the most topical issues in the world today are issues around diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you want to have a 39-member cabinet or 38-member cabinet, 30 of them should not, in fairness, be from one religion. Now, that's on the one part. Now, the second point is, if you look at the video of the speaker very well, I saw extreme pettiness and extreme cheekiness. Like I said, they're trying to let the governor know that he's not the man in charge just yet. If tomorrow he does become the man in charge, then it will be. One of the things he said was that in previous governments, they saw what's transpired. So that means there's a lot that they owe Lagosians about how the finances and the governance of Lagos State has been in the years before now. So we all need to begin to ask questions. So when we go to the House of Assembly to ask questions about why these 17 or 19 names were, these 17 names were not cleared, we should also ask questions about the hints that he dropped about why those who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
We're sure that we haven't heard the last of these yet. Perhaps we'll be getting response from the executive. Thank you so much for talking to us. Public Affairs commentator Jide Benson.
Thank you for having me.